Hi y'all, it's me. I'm here with my Inloveart's design team projects. I will put the link down to their shop in the description box, as well as all the product links that I am sharing with you today, and a discount code for 20% off your purchase, which you definitely want to use when you're making a purchase, as I'm sure you're going to want some of these dies. I'm also going to be showing you the measurements as I do normally with each of the dies, so I won't repeat that over and over. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips along the way that I do using dies. And if you're new to die cutting, they might be good tips for you. Even if you're an experienced die cutter, these are just some things that I do that make it much easier for me. So let me get started first by showing you what I selected. The first one is the Inloveart Wavy Shape Tag Decor die. And as you can see, you get 4 different sizes with the holes already in them, so you can make tag books, or you can even just use one alone if that's how you want. You could possibly even use them in this manner where you make a piece like this and use this to hang a dangle off of. So that's another thing you could do with those. But that's the first one. The next one is called the Inloveart Elegant Bag Metal Cutting Die. And as you can see, this one is pretty good size. It does fit in a regular Big Shot. However, it is longer than your plate. So what you need to do is run it through, and then once it's through, don't move anything much. Just slide up your die onto the cutting plate a little more so that it can continue to cut, and run it through again. That's all you have to do. Or if you have the larger die cutting, it's perfect. So that's that one. The next is a snowman, and he is so cute. It's called the Cute Christmas Snowman Decor die. You can see he comes with a poinsettia, not a poinsettia, holly berry leaf thing, some snowflakes, himself, some clouds, a scarf, and a hat. Super cute. The next item is an Inloveart Snowflake and Bow Metal Cutting Die. And this particular bow die, I love it. It makes it look like you've got 3 things going on. And you'll see what I mean when I show you the example. So this is the tail, that's the bow. And then these are snowflakes that you use to decorate the bow with. It's pretty cute. And you can use them with or without. This is the piece that wraps around the center, and that's an extra snowflake. This is called the Lovely Christmas Sled die, and as you can see, these are the measurements. Here it says Sweet Christmas when you cut it out. These do cut out stars in these locations, and then you get some additional stars. You want to save all those little stars. You can use them in your shaker bits and whatnot, and they're pretty cute. They come out, they're pretty tiny, but they do make cute little add-ins to your shakers. So you want to save those. The next die I picked up was the Stitch Snowflake Christmas Tag die, which are super cute. They're in 2 sizes, and these make really cute tags and whatnot, so you definitely have to see what else I did with that. And then the last die I picked up is called the 3D Pop-Up Decorative Tassel, and they come in 2 sizes. As you can see, this one is quite large, so I would use this one probably on home decor kind of things, or for a purse, tassel, or whatever you wanted to do in that regard. Then you have the shorter one. Now, mind you, you can also cut these down if you don't want them to be that long. You can cut them to whatever length that you'd like your tassel to be. These strips go along the top edge of the tassel, which you'll see in my samples. And then these can also be used for border dies as well, so you want to be sure to check those out. So let me get started with the tassels. I'm going to first show you the first tassel I did, and it was this one here. I made it out of felt. I just wanted to give you the idea of how they are put together. I also did cut down the top, this portion right here. I cut that off a little bit because I thought it was too large for the size of the tassel. So you can do that as well. Here's my first tip for you. When you're cutting felt or leather or any other non-paper item, I want to give you an idea of how I do my sandwich because it's important. So most plates, die cuttings are bigger, and they have, you use 2 clear plates on top of a whatever. This one you don't. So let's just say I was going to cut this. So this is my felt. Then I would put down my die that I want to cut. I would put my other plate on, and then I always add a shim. And this is just a thin piece of chipboard. You could use a piece of folded cardstock. I lay it over the size of the item that I want to cut and run it through. It seems to work better than having to go back and forth, back and forth. You just have to do it one time. So that's a tip that I wanted to share with you. So I did that tassel, and then I made this one, which I thought was really cute. It's, as you can see, I use silver paper, has some glittering down at the end, some silver twine, and this one is paper. So it's not as flexible as this one. I want to show you how I achieved that. I just added a piece of washi tape along the bottom edge of the paper, and then when I ran it through the die cutting machine, I made sure the tassel ends were over that washi area, and then I ran it through. That's how I was able to get the glitters on the end without having to sit there and really just put glitter on everything. So that was another tip for you. The next one I did, I wanted to show you this one only because I don't really like the way this came out. I wanted to try to make a tassel with the tool, but it doesn't really cut well. I had to sit there and tear apart the pieces, so I just wanted to show you because you can try other materials, but I wanted to show you this one didn't work so great for me anyway. But I did do a longer one, and I did it in a gold leather. Now, I have to tell you about this one because even though I ran it through my die cutting machine with a shim, the way I showed you earlier, it still did not cut through. And I have a feeling it's because this is the backing on this faux leather. It's kind of a thick cotton. It just wouldn't cut through, but it did make the indentation lines for me well enough that I was able to go back and just slice them with scissors really easily. So that's the faux leather, and then I used some glitter paper up top and used a piece of that for the tie. So I actually think it looks really cute. So if you don't mind putting in a little extra work for the faux leather, this is just another cute option. So that was that die. Now I'm going to move on to my next die, and I want to show you what I created here. I used the Stitch Snowflake, and I decided to turn it into a little shaker. So I simply cut a piece out from using the smaller die here, and it cuts those cute little snowflakes in the corner. I added the acetate and stamped on it with StazOn ink, and then I just laid this on top of the glitter paper you see in the back and traced the outline and hand cut it, because otherwise you'd have these elements would cut out. So that's how I achieved that. And I have some foam in the center. Super cute, and it's got some fun little shaker bits in there. And then the other thing that I decided to do with this particular die is I put 4 of them together and I created a little tea light cover, which I think is so adorable. I really like it. I put some light pink vellum in there, and then I simply, if you look in here, you can see there's little hinges to hinge the 4 pieces together, and I also put a base down in there. Let me grab that out. I made a little base that fits into the bottom, just like the box would. So that was how I achieved that, and I used this particular holly berry is from the Snowman die that I shared with you earlier. I just used it as an adornment there. But such a cute way to use that die for more than just a tag. Or, of course, you can use them in flip books or however you want to. So that was that die. Now let's move on to the next, and I'm going to show you what I did with the sled. Now, normally the sled would cut out this shape right here, and you can see there, you can see this stars cut out there, here, and here, and then it's Sweet Christmas, which is backwards. But what I decided to do was I decided to make it into a little treat box. And actually, I didn't put anything in it, and I try not to over embellish my projects and just kind of do a little bit so you can kind of get an idea. You all have your own style of decorating, and I just really want you to see how to use a die or other ways of using the die. So that's why I didn't put anything in here, but that would be a cute use for it, to set it on your table during the Christmas holiday. Maybe put some goodies in there like candies or whatever for your guests. So that's what I did with that, but you could also definitely use this on a card front without doing the box feature. That's just what I wanted to do. We'll move on to the next item, which is the bow. Now, I also used on this one the tassel border thing that I told you about. These I thought would be so cute, but look at this bow. Just have a look at it. Isn't that awesome. You get this dimensional look to it because of the way that the die is made with these lines in it. So it is super, super adorable. And then you can see there the snowflakes are in the background. This is where I use those border dies. I also wanted to tell you that if you're putting this together, the easiest way to do it is take these pointed corners here, the four, and bring them down to the center first and glue them in place, and then add this one last. And then you do the rest of it as you would any other bow. But look at how beautiful that bow is. And these are just little gifts you can put on your table for the holidays that your family and friends can open and find out what you've got in there. I don't use toilet paper rolls because I don't like the sanitary part of that. You could use paper towel if you want to. I actually just make my own. I just roll a piece of chipboard into a circle and glue it down. That's basically how I achieve mine. And that way I can have any size I want. And then the next one I'm going to share with you, I made using this little snowman character. And look at how adorable is that snowman. And I used the borders as well. But look at this cute little snowman. Isn't he just adorable? His little hat there. And this again is for a table setting if you want to give small gifts out. Now I want to share my next tip with you, and probably the last one I'll have for this video. But whenever I die cut, and I have small items like the nose and this scarf, I don't, and the arms even are, small pieces of brown. I don't necessarily want to cut into my big paper. I don't want to buy certain colors because I don't really use a lot of orange. It's not a color I craft with very much. So what I did was I make sure to buy these when I find them. These are adhesive cardstock. You don't have to have adhesive, but if you find anything like this, that it gives you a variety of colors, then whenever you have a small die that has a lot of little pieces and you may not use, let's say I don't use a lot of lavender either, so at least here I have it. If I need it, I can have just a small piece. So this is one thing I buy, and then this is the other thing I love to buy, and these are from Hobby Lobby, half price time, and I buy these for the same exact reason. When I just need a little bit of a color that I don't necessarily use all the time, or even if I do and I don't want to cut into a full sheet, I make sure to buy these to use, and they're just nice to keep at the side of your desk when you're die cutting so that you can reach for a color that you may not use all the time. So that's what I did for that. But perfect, cute little snowman, and I use him again in another application as well. Let's move on to the next thing, and this will be the elegant bag. Now, I'm going to show you one I did not decorate or anything. I just want you to see how this works. It has a little area here. You see that little section? It cuts that out so that these two little tabs can push up in there to hold it closed. So now you have two options. You can either leave this so that it opens all the way, or you can glue the sides down here so that it will glue. Then you simply pinch those two little tabs together, which are also included on this die right here. You can see them there. And you pinch them together and squeeze them and push them up in there, and that closes that. So you can put a card in here, a gift card. You can do just whatever your imagination lends you. I'll show you what I did with mine. I decided to use felt. So again, I used the shim process where I put the extra piece of chipboard to cut the felt out better, and it worked like a charm, and this is what I came up with. So it is so adorable. I did some hand stitching around the edges. You can see I even did the back here. I added that bow, and I cut that bow in felt, and just look how pretty that is. And that's without using the background snowflake dies. These are from the snowman, and there's the snowman again, and all I did was cut his body off to accommodate this. And you can see this is super adorable. Again, because I put the bow up higher, I still can get to those little tabs. I open it up, and here you can see that I did glue the sides down so that I can use this as a little pocket to gift something at Christmas time, or use it for inserting a mini album. Then you just put your tabs back. Oop, I didn't pick this one up. You put your tabs back in, push it down. I bring the flaps of my bow over so that it's not so obvious that that's there, and that is that, but a super adorable way to use this die. Okay, one more. Let's move on. This is the Wavy Shape Tag Decor die, and I decided to put together a little mini flip book, if you will, just so you can see how cute they are and the 4 different sizes that you get in this set. So the first one here, I just have a jump ring holding it, and I put a little bell on there, but as you can see here, I used those punch outs from the sleigh die that I mentioned. These are snowflakes from the Snowman. I have little centers on them. I fussy cut this out of paper, and it is so cute. It just looks so, so cute. I did not do anything on the backs of these, but I did put paper so that you can put a photo or whatever. Here I did some more fussy cutting. I put some sparkly stuff on the back there, you can see, and super cute, just a cute decoration for this page. There's the back. This one here, oh, by the way, I made 2 of these pages. I didn't think about this. I put 2 together and I made a little pocket. So on this one, it has a little pocket there that pulls out that little tag. Here goes the next one. All I did was cut out this from paper, added a little doily from my stash in the background, and glued that up on some foam dots, and super cute. And lastly, the last page, and there's the back, but this is the last page. I used some sequins from my stash. I did that sparkly thing on the background. I layered 3 different layers of the snow, and I have them up on pop dots, as you can see there, so that each layer has its own identity. And then I've added little fussy cut pieces from paper. And again, there is the back of that one. So that is just a super way to use these little dies. So I hope you enjoyed my projects. I hope you run and get your dies. You know, Christmas is coming, so you don't want to wait too long to get your things. And don't forget to use the coupon code. So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, do what makes you happy. Bye for now.